Hey guys, so I've been wanting to film this video for over a week now. I wanted to get it filmed and uploaded by Earth Day, but we've been having some bad weather, or my neighbors are being too loud, or someone's mowing their lawn or whatnot. So I haven't been able to film this video until now. So today I just wanted to do a video on sustainable gardening. Why do we need to be sustainable when we garden, you ask? So approximately 300 million pounds of plastic are dumped into the landfill every year, and 50% of that is single-use plastic, which means that we use it one time before throwing it in the trash. And it takes that one piece of plastic that we used one time 1,000 years or more to fully decompose. So if you do the math, it's really unsustainable to be pumping that much plastic into the landfill every year. Especially single-use plastic. There's really no reason that we can't just be making products that are biodegradable or compostable, you know, or buying products that last more than one use. Plastic bottles, for instance, really there's no point in plastic bottles, like, at all. There are so many other options that you can be choosing from. You can buy reusable water bottles, you can drink from a cup, you can drink from a fountain. I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know some of the ways that I am trying to become more sustainable in the garden. And maybe it will inspire you guys to also be more sustainable, because right now, with the way things are going, it's really unsustainable and it bugs me. Another thing is the food waste problem in America. So, or not even just in America, all across the globe. There are so many resources that go into producing food and making food. You have to think of water, soil nutrients, fertilizers, labor, machinery, transportation, and then transportation getting it to the store, and all of that for someone to just throw perfectly good food in the trash. My neighbors are being so loud. Literally, there's not one day that goes by that my neighbor is not screaming at her children. It's ridiculous.
They're crying. They're crying.
Yeah, babies are crying, huh? Anyways, what I was saying is there is a huge food waste problem all across the globe, and not only are we wasting so many resources making, producing, and transporting the food because of the amount of compaction in the landfills. A lot of that food is not able to biodegrade properly, and it creates it creates a gas called methane gas, which is really bad for our planet, and it gives off 21 times the global warming potential as carbon dioxide does. So it is really bad for the planet. So anyways, I think that a lot of people should be growing their own food in some way. And I think gardening is such an amazing thing, and you can do gardening wherever you're at, whether it's on an apartment balcony or just by a window in your backyard, on your patio, whatever you have, whatever space you have available, you can use to grow food. Yeah, so I just want to encourage people to garden, and also garden sustainably, because there is a huge food waste problem all across the globe, and I think if everyone grows a little bit of their own food, they will not only know how much goes into growing food and be less likely to waste that food, they will also be helping, because we won't be needing to produce so much food, because people will have grown at least some of their own stuff. So this is my rain barrel. Using a rain barrel to water your garden is really sustainable because you are using water that you've collected from a natural resource. Okay, so I have some things here that I want to show you that I use for sustainable gardening. So the first thing are these little biodegradable plant seed starters that I use. They come in like a big tray, and then you can just rip them apart, and you can opt to either take them off and compost them after you use them, or you can just plant it straight in the ground and they'll biodegrade around your plant. But I found that I like taking them off and throwing them in the compost bin better. So I just have a little baby kale plant growing in this one. Another thing that I like to use are these egg cartons. Oops, I bumped the table. I like to use egg cartons. And then when I'm done with these, I can just throw them straight in the compost because these are the cardboard ones. And to label my plants, I like to use these little popsicle sticks because I can also just toss them into the compost bin when I'm done using them. So I also like to use old tin cans that I have laying around that I got from buying like a soup or tomatoes or whatever. You usually want to drill holes in the bottom for drainage, but I've been watering these really carefully so they don't get root rot. And in this one I just have a sunflower and it's getting so big. I can't wait to have my little sunflowers. I also have one in this pot too. And the funny thing is I planted these at the exact same time, and this one is so much bigger. I am not really sure why. Another thing that I like to do though is take my little plastic seed starters and just reuse them every single year, because I know a lot of people that toss them out every year and then buy new ones, which doesn't make sense to me when you can just save them. And they are, you know, they're sturdy and, you know, there's nothing wrong with them. So why not save them and use them next year? It not only saves you money from having to buy more, it also saves the planet because you're not constantly throwing these out into the trash. And these are sturdy. They will last me probably a really long time. You can also use things like empty toilet paper rolls and paper towel rolls to germinate seeds in as well. I'll insert a picture right here if I can find the picture of what I did last year. Another really great way to be sustainable when gardening is by seed saving. So I use these little paper envelopes. Like this, and I save a lot of my seeds from my garden and reuse them for next year. So these are bell pepper seeds that I saved from last year, and I was putting seeds in these mason jars, but I recently switched over to the envelopes because they're more compact, they don't take as much space, and you can just compost them. The really great thing about seed saving is that over time, your seeds each year will become better and better. They'll become more inclined to your specific area, your climate, your soil, pH, and everything else. And they'll just be better seeds. They'll germinate quicker, they'll grow bigger, they'll produce more. So that's another reason why I really like to seed save, because you just get better crops that way. So the last thing I want to talk about is composting. Composting is a great way to add nutrients back to your soil every single year, and also it helps with the food waste problem that the world faces that I've already talked about earlier. I'll show you guys my composting setup really quickly. So this is where my composting starts, in this little bin in my kitchen. Right now I just have some coffee grounds and banana peels in there. And I really like this compost bin because it has a built-in filter, and it keeps any bad smells or weird smells inside. And it's just super cute. And then when this is full, I empty it out into my bigger compost bin, which I will show you guys. So this over here is my bigger composting bin. it's kind of folding in on itself right now because it's not full. So my composting bin is called a Geo bin, and I got it on Amazon for like $40. It's probably the cheapest one on the market, and it works really well, especially if you ever want to take it apart and transport it or move it around. It works really well for that because it comes apart super easy and it's super lightweight. It just rolls back up, and it is a great addition to your garden, especially it's free nutrients that go back into your garden and you are saving the planet. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry if there was a lot of background noise. My neighbors are really loud, like I said.
Mama.
It's okay, baby. What's wrong? Everest is playing out here. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button.